I'm going through my notes here because I had something in here that I wanted to make a video about. This is obviously not my usual notebook. I got to get back into this notebook. I kind of just write about miscellaneous things like what was it, how to build a sales pipeline, what's an audit. Not that that's particularly valuable information to know, but at some point, I mean, now I know. Wrote about tariffs in here, brand manifestos, 12 EU countries with the lowest tax rates, Andorra being number one. Yeah, see, this is a complex, not complex, but it's something that requires a little bit of depth. I'm not sure if I'm in the headspace to talk about it the way I'd like to. I'll give it a swing. I'm not going to put too much pressure on myself, and if it doesn't come out well, then I'll record it another day. But it's the concept of being ready. This is video number 7, by the way. I changed sweaters again. This is the third video I'm recording today because I'm weird like that. I feel like people in life typically need a sort of set list of factors to be completed or achieved in order to consider themselves ready for something. You know what I mean? And while that can very well be true, like let's say, for example, I'm cooking, I'm making an omelet. I need 3 eggs, a pan, olive oil, onions, spinach. You need certain things to be able to make that omelet, right? While on a broader scale, something like in your life, I don't know, let's say for example, you want to start a business, right? I'm going to use that example because that's kind of where we're at and what we're doing. People kind of talk about, I need a master's degree. I need $50,000. I need a partner. I need somebody who knows how to code. I need, you know what I mean? I need somebody with experience in the field. And I think it's well, those things obviously help and they prepare you better for whatever you're trying to take on. Ready ultimately is a decision. Ready's a decision. It's not a feeling. I suppose it's a feeling too, but ready's a choice you make. You choose when you're ready. You could be ready now. You could be ready in 5 years. I wasn't ready to move here without a job, without a consistent income, things like that. But I made the decision to be ready to do that, and I made the decision to be ready to start this YouTube channel, even though I don't know how to edit and I don't know what I'm talking about, and I'm just like any other person in the world who, I have no expertise in anything. I just live my life and try to convey the lessons I learned to everybody watching. So I look at it this way, right? There's version 1 and version 2 of your life, and I forget where I saw this. And I want to touch on this too really quick. Everything I speak about in these videos, I've derived inspiration from somewhere, something, someone at some point in my life. But none of these concepts I'm talking about are something that are there. Nothing here is groundbreaking, right? And everything you see on the internet or wherever it may be, those people have derived inspiration from someone or something as well. You know what I mean? Unless you're like a Marcus Aurelius or a Seneca or whatever. You know what I mean? Which I just want to clarify. The things I'm talking about. I know I'm not moving mountains here and whatnot, but there are things I find interesting, and if I can relay that message or relay the concepts I've heard on social media or wherever they may be to somebody else for them to hear them, then that's really the objective of the videos. But anyways, you have version 1 and you have version 2 of your life, and version 1 is the version in which you don't you never made the decision to be ready to do something. You never started that business. You never asked that girl or guy out. You never started going to the gym. You never looked for a better job or asked for a promotion or a raise because you didn't feel like you were ready. And then version 2 is the version in which you do feel that you're ready and you do ask for that promotion and that raise or start that business or move or ask that girl out. You guys end up happily married with kids and so on and so forth. You become filthy rich because you're the CEO of whatever company. And so yeah, I think the power of the mind is so incredibly potent, and I don't think we realize how strong it is. And the point is to somehow convince yourself that you're ready for whatever you want in life. I personally am working on that. I don't necessarily feel ready when I make these videos, but I turn the camera on and I talk, I yap, I ramble, whatever. Like I said, I'm making the choice to be ready, whether or not I actually am. I think when you shift your mindset and your framework to tell yourself that you're ready, even if you're not, the actions you take preceding that decision are gonna help you grow in your life. So yeah, I don't even see. I'm looking at my notes, and this is an old video idea. This is number 16. I'm on like 35 or something, so it's probably been a couple of weeks since I wrote this down. And I don't even, it doesn't really, the next point I made doesn't really, isn't really applicable to the video, which is strange. I wish I could go back and remember what I was thinking. You know what? It actually does apply. It does apply. Now that I'm making it apply. You know what I mean? In my head. The next point was analyze your environment. Okay? And this is why I think it applies. Analyze your environment in order to maximize your odds of success. Okay? The reason I say that, let's take somebody who wants to get in shape, for example, right? If I want to get in shape, but I have chips, cookies, soda in the fridge, in the pantry, whatever, I'm not maximizing my odds of success, right? My environment is not equipped to bring me the success I'm looking for. Therefore, I may not feel ready to get into the best shape of my life. My environment isn't catered to my goal. And this is my point about the power of the mind. I'm not telling myself that I'm ready to get in shape. I'm ready to go to the gym. I'm ready to get fit, get healthy, eat right. If that's what my pantry and my fridge look like. So that's why I talk about the power of the mind and the decision to be ready. Because once I make that decision, then I get rid of all the junk food. I start going to the gym. I get on a strict diet. I'm consistent in the gym. I'm working out, taking care of my body, physically, mentally, whatever. And that's why I bring up the point about analyzing your environment, getting rid of the things that don't benefit you and get you closer to your goals, and bringing in the things that might do so. You know what I mean? So let me buy fruits, vegetables, meats, proteins, whatever it may be. So yeah, that was kind of my point to the thought I put here in my notebook. And that was kind of the idea by moving here for my brother and I. You know what I mean? Granted, it's a bit extreme. I don't like to use, I don't, to be quite honest with you, like to use this example too much, because you don't have to up and leave wherever you're from and move to a different country to optimize your environment. We just felt like, personally, in order for us to I guess maximize our potential, it made more sense to sort of throw ourselves in the deep end and try to really, it's a do or die type of thing, right? There's no other option. There's no other decision. We have to figure out a way to make it. It's a bit extreme, but and I don't know if that's optimizing your environment, but it's we put ourselves in an environment where we have no other choice currently, so we need to figure out a way to make it work. Like I said, that's a bit extreme. I don't know if that's for everybody. I can tell you right now, it's not for the faint of heart. Uh, I lose sleep sometimes. We're working a lot. Definitely mentally, it's a roller coaster. So I think that's a bit extreme, and I wouldn't recommend it for everybody. But yeah, that's my point about optimizing your environment and making you feel as ready as possible to do what you want to do and achieve your goals and things of that nature. So, like I said, bottom line, ready's a decision. I really don't consider it a feeling, to be honest with you. It's you make the choice to be ready, and if you feel ready, then you're ready. And you're making that choice. Whether or not you feel that way, you can decide if you're ready for something, for whatever it may be. So the power of the mind is no joke. We accept what we think we deserve. If you think you deserve that house, the car, the girlfriend or boyfriend, the body you want, all these, I guess, intangibles, the love you deserve, you know what I mean? That's a big one too. The way you deserve to be treated. If you feel a certain way about that, you'll be treated that way, I think. And so yeah, people feel that. People feel energy. They know. Just treat yourself with respect. Love yourself. And yeah, you're ready for whatever you want in life. You just have to make the decisions. So I'm a firm believer in that, and just make sure your environment and that your actions convey that as well, because that's the most important thing. You can tell yourself that you're ready, but if you're not behaving in a way that conveys readiness, and you're not optimizing your environment to bring in those good things, then you may not have made that decision. Food for thought. I've been churning out these videos. This is video number 3 today, so my brain's a little fried. I gotta chill out, but yeah, hopefully somebody takes something from this.